now in Finland. I had a very crazy 24 hours. I also took off this attachment that I had for the microphone, so I'm hoping that the sound quality is going to be okay on this. I really don't want to waste my day with really poor sound quality, so we're going to see how it goes. Because when I face the other direction, it's very difficult to hear me. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's see. So, people have been messaging me, wondering, what's kind of happened in the past day. So, kind of give you an update. I was going to kind of make a video of me going through, but I was on a really crowded bus, and there was a lot of people around, and security was very, 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 very tight. So it was not really a good idea to record. And I know some YouTubers do it, but I don't want to record while everybody's cramped. I know some people don't like being recorded as well, so I'm just not going to do that. So anyways, I wake up about 5 or so in the morning, and my bus leaves at 6:40. Left, said goodbye, and went on the bus, and everything was fine basically throughout that point. It was when I started getting to the border, things started getting really weird. So we pull up, we're on a bus, so we're going to the Russian border, and you kind of have to get out, take all your items, they kind of scan you through, you go through border patrol through there, then you get through, you get on the bus, you go go through this like little neutral zone, which is about, I don't know, like not even a kilometer, and then you go to the Finnish border. So okay, simple enough. We get there, and I'm going through the line, and immediately when I show my passport, the woman kind of gets big-eyed a little bit. I'm like, oh great, here we go. It's probably the first American that she's seen in a while. I don't know, I didn't see any Americans or talk to any Americans that were in my bus. A lot of them were English, Finnish, some Russian and stuff like that, so they got through easy. So she looks at it, and then she starts calling people over, and now I basically have the whole staff behind her, and looking at the computer, looking at my passport, and I just knew something was up. I didn't know what was going to happen or anything like that. So 2 guards come up with automatic weapons, telling me to go follow him. And I'm like, great, like, I'm gonna be interrogated, I don't know what's going to happen. This is just going to be a really interesting scenario. So I get sent into a room. We're interviewing one other guy, but he spoke Russian. I don't even think he was an American citizen, I know that, but he was probably a citizen of a allied nation of the US. I couldn't tell you what. So he questions him. It seems pretty quick. It was only like 10 minutes or something like that. And then I get questioned. The guy walks in, and then he has a guard behind him with a automatic weapon. I'm like, okay, great. Like, does he think I'm going to try to do something, escape, whatever it is. I have nothing to hide. And he starts asking me questions. Why are you here? What do you do for work? He was, really curious what I do for work, because I work on the computer and I do this as well. And so I kept just describing him, you know, telling him the truth, what I did. And then he starts getting really deeper, and I start noticing the questions he was asking. He was asking very indirect questions to get information out from me, so, you know, like what the government was doing. So one question he asked was, what did he ask? He asked, if the embassy contacted me, like who was the American representative that contacted me to tell me to leave, because I told him that I was told to go. And I told him I saw it online, I saw it news and on the television and everything else. So he, you know, I think he believed me. And then he asked, he looked me dead in the eye and he asked me just straight up, he said, what are the consequences if you don't leave this country? I was very confused. I didn't know what that meant, but, you know, essentially he was inferring that, what if we don't, you know, what if he don't let you leave? What are you gonna do? Like, and I'm thinking, oh great, like, I'm going to jail. They're gonna use me as a political pawn, you know, whatever it is. You know, I'd be the worst pawn because, or I mean, I have no intelligence, I have nothing to hide. So, you know, I'm not even a great asset to the US. And I just told him that my card, I have no cards, I have no money because the cards don't work due to the sanctions. And I basically told him I'd starve. Like, I don't know what else to really say. He asked me one more question, and then he let me go. And it was a very intense 45 minutes. And so once that was done, we drive over to the Finnish border, and I start talking to them, and you know, they're being friendly and everything else. And immediately he gets on the radio, and then two more guards with, I think they just had pistols, I don't think they had automatic rifles, I'm trying to remember now, but they came up and said, come with us. And I'm like, oh great, you know, both countries just hate me right now. And I was interrogated for about, I'd say an hour, 45 minutes or something like that. It kind of felt almost worse than what the Russian government was doing to me. And so they make me take my bags, which they didn't check anybody else's bags but mine. They made me take all my items, and they went through every single piece of clothing, pockets. You know, they're searching just for something. Of course, I have my podcasting equipment, my microphone, my camera, and everything else. And I kind of, you know, I was truthful with them, so I just made it obvious, you know, what I was doing and what my intentions are, and that I'm just trying to leave Russia just because of the conflict that is going on right now. So, yeah, after being scrutinized for about 2 hours, I finally made it through the border, and now I'm here. I came here last night, you know, yesterday afternoon, and pretty cool over here. It's a little colder. You know, it's very much more westernized than here, than Russia, and yeah, I'm having a great time. So I'm going to be checking out some churches right now. I'm going to be doing kind of a long walk throughout the city. Helsinki is very small, and you get to a lot of places just by foot or bus. But I feel like just taking a good walk and stretching my legs a little bit, since I sat down for 8 hours yesterday, taking, you know, 7-8 hours taking that bus from St. Petersburg to Helsinki. And yeah, we'll see what we find. Gonna see some cool stuff. What's really nice too is everybody here speaks English, so it's gonna be really easy to navigate around. So to kind of give an update of what's going on with Russia right now, obviously there's still the conflict going on in Ukraine, which is terrible. And it's looking like that, it's kind of weird. I've never seen this before. You know, I have my opinions about all this, but basically, if people don't know, there's Carl's Jr., McDonald's, Subway, and you know, a few other companies that are out over in Russia. And it looks like a lot of them are going to be pulling out, which means that a lot of people are going to be losing their jobs soon. And you know, I've been getting a little bit of backlash for kind of pushing against that. You know, a lot of people are celebrating that narrative, and I'm pushing against it. And you know, not because it's a pro-Russian thing or anything. I understand the other side's argument, but you know, these are normal day people. You know, no person has asked for this, and I'll be consistent if it's Libya, Syria, Iran, you know, whatever else. You know, these most of the atrocities that are committed are just by the top government officials, and you know, the military as well. These normal day citizens have nothing to do with it. I also saw Apple as well. They're not selling their phones anymore, and I think yesterday, I believe, Apple has closed their stores officially. So you know, you kind of start thinking about all these things that companies are doing to the Russian people, you know, and they're thinking, yeah, they're going to hurt the economy of the government. I get that. But also, you know, these are people's livelihoods. And if you think of all the McDonald's, all the Apple stores, all of everything that is, you know, being serviced or sold over in Russia, you know, people's livelihoods are getting ruined by the day. And you know, I'm just pushing back on the fact that yes, the Russian government collects taxes and you know, stuff like that, but I feel like it's very minute to what, you know, the average citizen is trying to do to just survive over there, especially when the dollar, the ruble, has you know, basically collapsed over there. And the stock market is down, I think 40-30%, you know, quite a bit. I think all the gains in the past 5 years has just gone. And yeah, you know, just people's livelihoods, you know, they don't even pay that much, from what I understand, you know, maybe 50,000 rubles, maybe to 80,000 rubles in like upper positions and stuff like that. But you know, people can't, you know, are getting by on, you know, barely anything. And now with those two factors of the economy and the ruble crashing and not having a job, you know, what are people going to do? And I see the cycle of it being pushed everywhere for every company. There are still some American-based companies that are doing business over there, and European as well. European companies are kind of joining in on this fight as well. But you know, I'm feeling like this could lead to mass starvation, and you know, the only jobs that are going to be produced are, you know, through China, India, all these other countries, and the government. Essentially, you know, when you have half the world going against you, it's going to be very difficult for the average person. Again, I'm no Russian sympathizer. I'm against Putin. I'm against governments. I'm against all governments, because I feel that a majority of their actions, I know some are worse than others, are the actions that every government pursues is immoral against the person. But again, I'm not going to get too political with it. But I'm just saying, I want people to reconsider their mindset when it comes to the sentiment against the people, and people really need to distinguish the government and the government and leadership, the people at the top, versus the actual citizens. So that's all I'm pointing out, and that's basically where my line is when it comes to the sympathy of the Russian people. So yeah, right now I'm about 5 minutes or so from this church. And it looks really interesting, but I'm going to go over there, read up on it a little bit, and give you guys some facts, because I think it's either underground or it was like a destroyed church that was kind of rebuilt on top of it. It's very interesting. It looks very beautiful. So on the inside, you see the walls and you see the rubble from the old church, and it's kind of rebuilt over. So it's kind of fascinating. So We'll get over there right now here in a few minutes. All right, so I was wrong about this church. I thought it was, I thought this church was made due to World War II. And actually, doing some research, it was made by two brothers. I'm going to just read the names right now. Timo and Tumo Suwalmalanian. I totally butchered that, but they designed this in 1969 as kind of a more of an art project for a post-war type of church. Now I'm walking along it right now, I believe. I think this is the wall here. I'm checking my phone and I hope this is free, but I also did some more reading, and this church is the one of the most visited churches in the world, which is pretty crazy. And yeah, here it is from the outside. Now this church, it has no bell, and it just has this pre-recorded bell here. So I'm going to see if I need to pay to get in. I hope it's free, but let's see. We are open, they said. Okay, I think I need to walk around to the other side over here, but I'm really excited to see this church because the pictures are just beautiful. So to kind of give some statistics when it comes to religion here, the Finnish have about a 68 or 69% Christian-dominated religion here, and that is going to be, a majority of them are going to be Protestant, and about 29% are basically unaffiliated, and basically the rest of the percentages are going to be Orthodox. Of course, you have some Russians here since they're basically sharing a border, and then Muslim, Hindu. I've seen a few Indians around here. It's kind of hard to distinguish who is a tourist and who is a local here, because it is a little diverse, I would say, but you have basically a majority Finnish, white Finnish population here. But yeah, I've noticed a lot of tourists here, especially at the bars. Went to an Irish bar and talked to a Kenyan guy, and I don't even know if I'm going the right way right now, but yeah, and you see a lot of Asian people here speaking their native language, and you can tell they're obviously tourists because they're holding around GoPros like me, or cameras and stuff like that, so they're pretty easy to distinguish for the most part if they have certain habits walking around. So right here I'm on the top, and there was an arrow pointing in a direction to go around, so I don't know if I just took some weird thing. I'm kind of following this woman over here, so you get a good little hike in regardless. And I was thinking about it, they were talking about all these European countries and not even Slavic countries, but Nordic countries, saying they have the happiest population in the world. And I don't, a lot of that is really biased. Being happy is very subjective for the most part. My happiness does not equate to one's other happiness, my interest and everything else. Okay, I don't think I'm going the right way at all. So what I noticed though is, we walk around here a lot over in Europe and all these other countries, and We don't do that in America. And I notice just leaving here and coming here that my attitude has greatly improved because of the amount of walking that I am doing. And I might break my leg going down this hill here, but I'm gonna go around a little bit more and see. It looks like there's kind of like a little park on top of it over here. It's really sunny today. I'm like squinting my eyes. My eyes are blue, so that's kind of a harder time blocking out the sun. But yeah, so far it's a really cool joint, or country joint, and I'm having a great time. But I'm only going to be here till Monday until I go to Serbia, which I'm very, very excited for, because I have a lot of things that I want to do, a lot of adventures and a lot of cool things. And people don't talk about Serbia that much, so I don't think people have a really good idea of what Serbia is. So I wanted to just kind of show the West what they're missing out on. So I'm gonna go find this and I'll be back. All right, we're in. It only costs €4, so not too bad. Look at this. You pause and read all that if you want. Beautiful, beautiful church. I love it. I wonder how people get upstairs. I must have missed the staircase. Imagine playing that. Alright, cool. Here goes. think this is a good place to pray with everything that's going on right now. You know, they talk about this post-war type of architecture that they did for the church, and with everything that's going on with Russia and Ukraine and NATO, I think it's kind of good to sit here and just have some good thoughts, good prayers for everybody that's going through the situation right now. All right, so now I'm going to the Helsinki Cathedral, and it's kind of on the other side, so it's going to take me about 25 minutes, half an hour to get over there. So I'm doing some ideas and planning for my channel and kind of want to give an update on the future on this and what I want to do with it. And basically, I want to have kind of a full media format of travel, you know, looking at kind of, or touching on subjects that aren't really talked about in the world. I kind of want to bring I wouldn't say a unification or anything like that, but I want to touch on all points that aren't really being talked around in the world. And I think there are a lot of issues that are being blown out of proportion, not obviously the conflict or anything right now. A lot of subjects that are talked about in the media that they don't want to pay attention to, and I don't know, they don't think they can make any money off of it or whatever. And I don't know, I think there's more important things in the world that need to be talked about. And I want to make this kind of news, travel, media kind of production. So eventually I want to get a podcast rolling with it. I know I did the idea before. I wanted to rebrand and kind of touch up some things with it, so I kind of just rebranded a little bit. Obviously news articles, I want to get people to write eventually once this starts making a little bit of money. And I kind of had some ideas of getting some people like me who are just go and vlog around and kind of check out certain areas, you know, maybe one down over in South America, a person over in Central America, you know, just kind of touching on all of, you know, kind of the continental areas essentially. So, you know, that's a long way from now. You know, I wish I had the money to invest to go do these things, but, you know, it just takes time. So I appreciate everybody who is following right now. I think I have 21. You know, a lot of people might laugh and say, oh, you know, that's nothing. But to me, you know, it's small progress. You know, I feel like every video I get a follower or two, you know, and the snowball keeps rolling. So making more content and making cool videos of this beautiful area over here, you know, eventually we'll grow into something bigger. So I'm really excited about it. This is my dream. This is what I want to do. And I invite others to help pitch in. You know, I want other people who are like-minded that want to be a part of the travels and to do it. Like I said, I have no funding right now, but any help can be appreciated. You know, writing some articles, helping me improve my website. I don't have a website up yet. Again, this is a lot of work, especially when I'm working right now, but I want to break away from my job and just have enough funding to do this full time, you know, be really awesome. So yeah, right now I'm walking over to the Helsinki Cathedral. It's going to take me a little bit. Might get a coffee or something along the way, a little snack. I could show you kind of the inside of what a shop looks like. Again, it's very westernized, so it's going to be very modern. You know, even Russia is kind of like modernizing and stuff like that. But I know in like Turkey and kind of all these places, they have these cool like outdoor little coffee stands and huts and stuff like that. And they circle around their Turkish coffee and in this like sand, and it boils and they pour and they boil it again and it pours and stuff. Super cool. But yeah, everything's pretty modern over here. You would not feel much of a difference, you know, being in Western Europe or America, you know, for that. Just different types of beer and coffees and random things like that. They have their own touch and stuff, but It's pretty cool. So we'll see if I make a stop along the way here soon. All right, found some coffee. Finally, coffee. What's a doppio? Oh, okay, gotcha. Can I just get a filtered coffee with whole milk? Yeah.
So it will be €3.50.
Okay.
You can get coffee here.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I can give you a fresh one.
Okay. Can I have it to go?
To go?
Yeah, to go, yeah.
This is the normal one,
Okay.
by the way.
So they had a thing called a doppio. I was so excited to see what it was. It's just a double espresso. I hate when people say that. Espresso. So, got myself just regular coffee. See how it is. Pretty good. About 5 minutes out, so be there soon. You see the looks like a bus or train station over here, holding up the Crimean flag on top to show solidarity to the Crimean people over here. Really cool station. But we're gonna go to the state or the church today, so we'll maybe check that out later. I think I have to go take that because I'm gonna visit a friend over in Porvoo, which I think is about an hour or so out, so I'll figure that out later. Hair's all messed up from the wind, but whatever. So right here I'm in front of the church. So reading a little bit about it, it was made between 1830 to 1852. So we're talking about a church that's going on close to 200 years now since its inception. And it was made as a tribute to the Grand Duke of Finland, Tsar Nicholas I of Russia. The first one. So here, that's who he is right here. This is, to be said, the most popular landmark in Finland. And it's beautiful. We're surrounded by other churches right now. But as you can see, wow. Wow. So beautiful here. I'm going to see if I can get some videos inside. I'm going to go ask someone if I can go do that. Some churches, again, think it's disrespectful. I'm going to respect the place, every place I go to. So I'm going to go check it out here really quick. So it looks like I approached it from the side. So I was kind of displeased a little bit when I first came up. I'm like, oh, this is it. You know, it's one of the biggest churches here, and how the whole structure of it was, but I came in from the side. So one other thing is when it comes to the Protestant churchgoers, is that this is where the majority of the Protestants go for service. See this cool little tower right here. And then look at that. You cannot beat this beautiful view at all. Now I'm gonna go try to come in from the front and walk up these stairs. It's a workout, so I guarantee you there's probably people that are here just working out. So I'm gonna walk up these steps, but I'm gonna take a couple pictures outside, so I'll see you guys up there. So, I have some bad news. It's about 2:30 right now, and the funeral ends at 4:30. So unfortunately, we're not able to come inside, but we got an awesome view from the outside. You guys could go look up some pictures of how it is on the inside. I probably will come back here since I have a few days and I really want to check out the outside, but I have one more church to go to. So I think it's about 10-15 minutes away or so. So I am going to go head over there right now, as I see my battery is about, I don't know, quarter. I have about a quarter left of battery, so see you guys here in a bit. All right, I'm inside. No one's here, so I don't even know if I'm allowed here, so let's see. Okay, let's go check it out. outside. So I think kind of wraps up for today. Need to go home and work, and I need to go do a few things. But as I was saying before, one funny thing about this country is when you go from, say, an economy like Russia, and then you go to Finland, there's kind of a shock that you get, because when I first went to Russia, I was spending a lot of money and everything. I was just kind of going crazy and living the high life because the economy was so great. But then you start getting accustomed to the economy and, you know, realize, like, you know, you notice when things are overpriced, you don't want to pay that much. And so when you come over to, you know, a place like Finland, it's very expensive. And, you know, things cost 10 times, you know, 5 times the amount. And it's kind of a shock. So I'm going in and I'm buying a coffee. It's going to be, you know, 3-4 pounds, or, you know, whatever it is. Over there, it's going to be, I don't know, $1.50 or something like that for the same coffee and stuff. So I don't know, it's just pretty funny to go bounce. So I feel like I'm really cheap in these countries, and people are saying, hey, come back to America. I'm like, no, why not? I'm living, you know, in a really nice apartment, not paying a lot, and I'm saving up a lot of money. So what's the point? You know, if you're working online and doing YouTubing and stuff, no point. And plus you get to see all these beautiful, magnificent cities and churches and everything else. And, you know, yeah, seeing the same thing back over in Seattle a million times. So what's the point? So thanks for watching. Again, thank you for the support I have. I know this channel is small, but I do have big plans. And I will catch you guys a little bit later. I'll be going to Serbia here in a few days, but tomorrow I will be going to Porvoo, which I'm really excited about. So we'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.